So in the last tutorial, the previous tutorial, we did modeling. We just modeled the bottle. So today we are going to be adding materials to it, meaning we're going to change from this to this, making it more, giving life to it. So first things first, I want us to make the liquid in the bottle, and then the labels, this one and this one. So we're going to start off with the liquid. So we're going to model this. I didn't do this in the first tutorial because you wouldn't really see the need for it then. So I just wanted to do it in this tutorial so that I'll show you how everything goes. Okay, so let's go. So first thing, we're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to go into the X-ray so that we can see everything inside. Now I just want the liquid to appear from here to the top, so I'm going to use this. So let's go to face select. This is face select mode. We have vertex select, edge select, and face select. So if you want to select just the vertices, if you want to select the edges, if you want to select the faces. So we're going to select the bottom one because this is easier to do. Okay, so it will be quite tedious to just select everything from the bottom to the top, like from here to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Ctrl plus to keep selecting until we get our desired thing. So okay, so this is alright for us. So we're going to Shift D to duplicate, escape or click to release, and we're going to separate this from the main object, from the original object. So please press P to select, to separate by selection, and yeah, that's it. So now this is its object, its own object. Now let's go into edit mode. I want to bring this down a bit. Yeah, this is okay. So we are done with the liquid, modeling the liquid parts. So for the labels too, we are going to do something. We're going to go into edit mode, and let's actually turn off the X-ray for now. We're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to add edges here to help us with this. So I think the first one should be here, second one should be right about there. Okay, and we're going to use a free select to select the parts that we want. So from this side to this side, I think that's okay for me. Yes, we're going to Shift D to duplicate, release, and separate by selection too. So that's going to be our label, and the top, the same thing. We're going to go in, we're going to add a loop cut. We're going to use a loop cut tool to add a loop here and a loop there. I think that's okay. Now for this, we want to select everything, the whole thing. So we're going to go into X-ray mode and just select everything. Shift D to duplicate, separate by selection. That's that. So the first part is already done. So okay, right now, since we just duplicated them from the original image, they are still at the same position, meaning they are clipping through. They are on the same point as the original image, and this is actually impossible in real life. You can't have two things intersecting like that. It's going to cause problems. So it's going to cause problems in the scene too. So we're going to scale these out so that they are on their own. And to do this, we can just click it and hit scale to scale it out. But I also want you to realize something. You see this point here? This is what we call the origin point, and this is where the object scales from. This is also where it rotates from. Yes, and this we want to scale it from. We want the origin point to be here because as it's just scaling it from this point, and we don't actually want this sometimes. Okay, so we want to move the origin point to the object itself. The origin point is here because we duplicated it from this main object, and its origin point is here. So it has the same properties as that. So that's why it has the origin point here. So we're going to move it to the top. So to do that, I'll just hit space. Just use the search bar, and you can. I use space for the search bar, but you can change your preferences here. Go to preferences and change it to whatever key you want. Input, key map rather. Yes, so yeah, I use search for space action, so you can change to whatever you want. So I use space. I'm going to set origin to geometry. So this is going to move the point from here to the geometry itself, and that's it. Bam, we have it there. So now if I scale it from the object itself. So I'm just going to scale it once or twice. Okay, twice, alright. So the same thing also applies to this one. This one we are going to also set the origin points to geometry, and we're going to move this. See what I mean? That is clipping through. So the software doesn't know which part to show. So it's showing both of them at the same time, which is giving it problems like this. So we're going to move it out just a bit. So going to 7, and let's see where the object is. Okay, it's there. We're going to move it on the y-axis just once or twice even. So now there's no more clipping. Okay, so that's all the modeling we're going to do in this tutorial. Okay, no, not all, but you see what I mean later. Okay, so let's go with the materials. First thing, let's go to the shadings tab. The shading tab. This is where this tab is customized for using materials for shade. And also, if you haven't already, come to your render properties and change the rendering device from CPU to GPU. That's if you have one, because it will make your renders faster. All right. Okay, so the liquid is also clipping through the object, but we'll fix it later. As we're going to doing everything, we'll fix it. Let me also bring this out a bit to make it not clip. All right. So for the materials, let's go. Let's start with that. So we're going to make this a glass material. To do that, go to your materials properties tab, and here, this is what we call the shader, the shader editor, and these are called nodes. These are like the feed. They give information to this node gives information to this to tell it what's supposed to happen to the object in terms of the materials. So if I change the color here, it's going to change it there. That's it. And also notice that all the objects I duplicated, all the objects I made, the label and all the labels and the liquid, they all have the same materials because I took them from the same object, so they have the same properties. Okay, so we are going to change that along the line, sorry. So first thing, we're going to come here and change the transmission from 0 to 1. This is going to make our objects have a more glassy look. It's going to be transparent basically, or translucent. Right now it's translucent because it's rough. So we're going to change the roughness value from 0.5 to about 0.18. Yeah, 0.18 is okay for me. Good. So now it's transparent. Now it looks like glass. And IOR, we're going to change this from 1.4 to 1.5. Now we are going to do the liquid. So for this, we are going to make a new material for this, and we're going to change the color. So let's bring it to about here. This is okay. I'm going to change the IOR value from this to, let's bring it to 0.9. Alright, I think this is okay. Let me move this one. Remove this one. Alright, so I think this is okay for now. Yeah, this is okay for now. Okay, the roughness too. Yes, it's okay. Everything is cool now. Now I want us to make this like the edges here, if you can see that little detail. To do that, we're going to use the glass, the one that we're going to use for the glass. Also, let's change the names for the materials. So the first material, once the glass material, let's name it glass bottle. And for this one, let's name it liquid. for this one, let's make a new material for it and name it label 1. And for the top, let's name this label 2. This one just cover. Okay, so let's go back to our layout tab. So as you can see, this is still clipping through, so we're going to scale it out again. So now we're going to come back here and add some stuff here. So go into edit mode, and we'll use the X-ray this time. Let's go to the vertices select, no, edge select rather. So we're going to, this is what we're going to do. We're going to click, select the edges like this, leave one and select the other. Okay, so going to go to the top view here. For this one, I'm going to make it transparent. So I press Z to give me this, and 4 for wireframe mode, so I can see what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to scale this in like so, and I'm going to hit Ctrl B to bevel. This is going to make this smoother for me. Okay, good. So let's go to the shading tab. The shading tab to see how this looks. I think it's alright. Let's see. Let's hide this for now. I think it's okay. It's okay for now. Alright, so that's just for this. So let's add a plane to give us a bit more light to work with, so that it's at least a bit, you can see how things are going. Shift D to duplicate, rotate on the x-axis by 90 degrees, and send this back with G, Y. Good. Okay, so things are looking great now. So let's go to the shading tab, and this side we are going to add the texture for this and for this. Okay, so we are using something called the image texture. So Shift A to add a node, search image texture, add it, and going to open it and look for image texture. So you can use anything you want. I'm just going to use this, and yeah, this one. So connect it, and boom. As you can see, nothing happens. It doesn't really come well because I've not unwrapped this object, the label. So to unwrap, going to edit mode, A to select all the edges, everything, all the vertices, U to unwrap, and unwrap. So let's come here to, and we are going to use this. We're going to look for the UV editor over here. We're going to open the UV editor so that we can see what we are doing. So the unwrapping is basically like taking a cube and breaking it down into, like, for instance, like you take a cube. If you say you want to unwrap a cube, you take a cube and you break it down into the shapes that form a cube, like the squares, how they come to form a cube, how they come together to form a cube. That's just this. That's the same way we also do this. That's what the unwrapping is. So we're going to, so this is what forms this basically. So here we're going to select everything with A, rotate it on the x-axis 90 degrees. But just rotate on 90 degrees because this one is just X and Y. There's no Z here, even though we can actually use it, but okay. And so yeah, we're going to scale this down for it to appear better. Move it up. I'm using G to move up. The normal keys we use to move objects, the same thing here. And okay, I think let's scale this on the y-axis a bit. Let's stretch it out a bit. And yes, I know I spelled whiskey wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is okay. So now we're going to add more life to this. So because right now it's just, let's go to the material preview tab so that you see it's just this, and I want to add more life to it. I want to make it look like paper. So to do that, we're going to add something called the bump node, and that's what it says. It just gives it bump. We're going to connect this to the normal. It gives to the normal. Now on its own, it doesn't do anything because it doesn't have any texture to work with, because nothing is feeding information to it to feed information to this. So to do that, we're going to add a math node. We're going to set this to multiply. We're going to add a noise node, not this one, a noise node, a noise section node, and we're going to add another image texture. Now for this one, I'm going to use this. I'm using a blurry image of this because it will give, I'm going to use this to make the text come out a bit, like to emboss it in a way. That's the best way I can say it's way to get it. Alright, so we're going to add another bump node. We're going to connect, set the color space from, change from sRGB to non-color data. We're going to connect this to the height, connect this to this value, connect this to this value, connect this to this value. So this feeds this, and this feeds this, and this also feeds this, and they add both of them together, and both of them come here, feed this, and feed this. That's basically it. Let's reduce the strength of this completely. Okay, our machine is a bit slow now, but we'll make it work. So increase the detail, roughness, reduce the strength, change this to 4D. Or you know what, let's not even use this anymore because it won't even apply. So I'm just going to, I can just delete this if I want to, but let me just leave this for now. So yeah, this is the kind of texture I want, and I'm also going to, I wanted to add something to the roughness, but it doesn't really matter. This is what I want, but let me reduce the strength of this a bit because it's too much. Yeah, this okay, cool, great. So we're going to do a similar thing to this one. I'm going to add an image texture. Now this is a bit different from what we did, because see this one, the image I use is black and white. I made it black and white. Let me show you. Let me see. Yeah, so this is, I made it this way because I want to be able to control the colors, the colors of the text and the label. So you see what I mean. So I'm going to add a color ramp, connect the color to the factor, and connect this color to this. And also let's go into edit mode and hit U to unwrap. Now this time, if we hit unwrap, because it's a cylinder, it's going to give us this, and we can't really work with this. So we're going to project from view to give us just this particular view, just this view. That's what it's giving us. So we're going to hit A to select everything, G to move it up a bit, S to scale. Okay, great. So now we're going to change this color to, oh, I want it, it's like gold. I'm going to change the white one to this color. Yes, this is okay. Okay, I think this is alright. So yeah, this is alright. So now let's go back to the rendered view for you guys to see. Yeah, so this is it. Let's also change this one, the top. I'm going to make this metallic, bring the base color down a bit. Also, I'm going to increase the transmission to 1. I just want it to be that way. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, let me turn it off and see how it looks. Shade flats, turn it off. Okay, so yeah, that's it guys. So this is the modeling, the what am I using? So this is how to make the materials, yes, of the bottle. So thank you guys for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you like this content. I hope you guys learned something. I'll leave a link below to some of the tutorials I watch, some things you can learn from, and also a link to my Instagram page. Thank you guys so much for watching, and catch you guys in the next one. Bye.